Hey there everyone, my name's Sarah, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do something that I probably should have done a few months ago, and that is to do the newbie Authortube tag. I'm a writer and I procrastinate, so what are you going to do? Number one, how did you hear about Authortube? I honestly don't remember, I don't know. I think it was trolling Google, trolling YouTube, I guess, when I came across the tag. It's always been at the back of my mind to do. I think I was planning to do it for one of my very first two videos, and then it sort of forgot to do it. I forget a lot of things. Yeah. Number two, what genres do you write in? I write fantasy. That's basically it. Urban fantasy, low fantasy, high fantasy, some sort of fantasy. There's always going to be some sort of fantasy element, and I have no desire or wish to break out into any of the other genres. Number three, what is your preferred writing tense, POV, and category of story? Category is like middle grade or YA or NA or adult, or preferred tense is past tense, because that's what I started writing in. That's what I'm going to continue writing in. I always write in third person limited, sometimes multiple POV, sometimes just the one POV. I always write YA. Number four, are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? That's a loaded question. I always consider myself as a planner, because I like making to-do lists. I like organising things. I like making to-do lists and organising things a bit too much, as in I organise them and then I don't do them. So I suppose I started off thinking I was a planner, not understanding what a planner was. So I have to have some sort of plan. I can't not just go in with no idea whatsoever. So I'm definitely not a pantser. So I suppose I'm a plantser. I plan a little bit and make it up as I go along a little bit. I really hate the word plantser. I don't know why. I'll have to think of a new word. Number five, are you self-published, traditionally published, or yet to be published? I am the latter. I am yet to be published. Nowhere near the publishing side of things at all whatsoever. I'll get there eventually if I stop procrastinating. Number six, what publishing company, literary agent and or printing company are you represented by or use? And if you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? Look, I have no idea. That is stuff that I have not even looked at or looked into. Again, it's one of those things that is always on the back of my mind, like I need to do this. So I'm sort of holding off on researching properly into all of the different publishing houses and the different literary agents until I feel I'm ready and I'm at that stage to start querying. Number seven, what Authortube related videos can we expect on your channel? Writing tips, I guess. Writing advice, obviously. No advice is actual advice. I've currently got a novel writing series on my channel which I started in April called Novel With Me, where I basically go through every aspect of writing a novel, from planning to outlining to writing to revising, while I plan, outline, write and revise my own novel. I'm a rather new channel, so I'm still trying to find my bearings, sort of thing. You don't want to be one of those people that sort of copycats on another Authortube's channel, even though I suppose it's such a niche subject. There's not a lot you can do different apart from obviously making it your own, as that's what writing is, really, taking an idea and making it yours. Tips and advice so far. I'm going to go into all of the personal stuff, vlogs, my writing journey and all of that stuff eventually. Number eight, when did you start writing? When I was 12. can't do math, so no, I can do math. 20 years ago. Yes, I'm that old. Started writing my own stuff properly, I guess, when I was about 14 years old. So a very, very, very long time. Number 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? Let's see, that depends. You mean the first story I ever remember writing, or the first story that I actually completed? Because that's two completely separate answers. The first story I wrote, the one I wrote in school, was some sort of sci-fi. I don't remember much about it except for the walls of the house change colour to match the owner's emotions, like a mood ring. Sort of, that's all I remember off of that one. Then there was another one that I started writing, which was I suppose my first attempt at writing a proper novel, which was some sort of supernatural fantasy with a werewolf and a vampire and a ghost and a witch, and I still have that somewhere actually. I should read that. I don't want to read it. How bad would it be? Number 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? See, I don't read that much at all whatsoever. That's not really a good thing, I suppose. When you're a writer, you need to read other people's work, not to be a good writer, I don't believe that, but obviously to learn without physically learning how to write. I don't know. Recently, I guess we'll start with recently. Recently, Le Bardugo has been a massive inspiration. Like, I aspire to write that sort of depth, to write those sorts of characters that you just can't help but fall in love with. Rick Riordan as well. He is one of my favourite authors. His plot, but his characterizations are among one of my favourites, and his just diverse cast that he has, his research. So they're the authors that have inspired me the most. Number 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you find the time? I do a little bit of both. Oh, I've got 4 kids at home, so finding time to write is difficult enough. I will always, if I plan on writing on that day, write in the evening after everyone's gone to bed. I'll do that for 40 minutes to an hour, and sometimes I will just write during the day whenever I can. It depends on the day, really. Number 12. Do you use a computer, a typewriter, do you write by hand, or do you use a blend of all of those? I have never seen a typewriter in real life in my entire life. It depends on how I'm feeling, I guess. 90% of the time I will use my computer because I can sit that anywhere. I hate having to write something down and then have to type it back up onto my computer. So yeah, 90% of the time I will type up on my computer. If I ever do write by hand, it's usually going to be notes, story notes, plot notes, character notes, because I just find it easier to quickly write those down on paper than have to haul out my laptop and open it up and, do all of that stuff that way. Number 13. What do you look forward to the most now that you're a part of Authortube? Making friends. Please be my friend. I have such trouble. I can't communicate at all whatsoever. I absolutely suck at it. So yeah, making friends, because that's the one thing I've been lacking throughout the entire time I've been writing, or even been on all of these writing community platforms, is having sort of that group author friend sort of relationship with people, because talking is one of my main motivators and sources of one of my main sources of inspiration. So yeah, making friends, definitely sort of getting my voice out there, trying to, I suppose, give the advice that I wish I had heard, or the things I wish I would have known before I started becoming a writer. I want to sort of get those out there, things that are personal to me. Also to give you writing advice, like I pretend I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, don't really know how to close this video properly. There's a link down in the description box to the founder of the Authortube tag, and they have a Facebook community as well. I don't have Facebook. I've never had Facebook in my entire life. I didn't want Facebook when it first came out. I don't want Facebook now. So I won't be joining the Authortube Facebook community, unfortunately, but they do have one. So if you're interested in checking either of those two things out, I highly suggest it. That's it from me. I'll see you in my next video eventually. Good thoughts and happy writing.